This Thursday, Springfield Technical Community College celebrating Women's History Month with speaker Dorothy Roberts.
That's just one of the stops we make as Western Mass News goes town by town. Roberts is an author, law professor, and social justice advocate who will wrap up Women's History Month by presenting on race-based medicine. She'll speak at the Shabelle Hall Theater in Building 2. The event is free and open to the public.
Now to West Springfield, where a reception was held today at the Brooks Building on the Eastern States Exposition Fairgrounds. At the event, Greater Springfield Convention and Visitors Bureau announced that a $1 million travel and tourism season extension grant will be awarded to Western Mass as a super region.
Now to an update on work happening on Union Street, the project there in Easthampton. Today, Northern Tree was scheduled to remove trees that were reviewed and approved for removal as part of that design process. And Eversource Gas in front of Shelburne Falls Coffee Roasters on Union Street, that's all of next week. Verizon was on Union Street today and will be tomorrow as well, moving risers to the next utility pole, which is next to Pizza House.